remember the days we saw purple haze. 1 and 1, and 1 is 3. Hey, hey, baby, what you do to me?
I suddenly found myself able to afford some luxuries, but I found that I couldn't enjoy them unless I spent a significant part of my time and money trying to save the world. The main luxury that I indulge in is that I live in two places, the wilderness of southwest New Mexico and the city of Seattle. These happen to be in two of the most interesting states for drug reform, and I try to cause trouble in both places as well as in California, Oregon, and Alaska. When people meet a Microsoft person like me, they assume I've got money, but they don't know whether it's 500 million or 5 million. I can tell you it's not 500 million. I have just enough to give the illusion of making a difference, but not enough to make a real difference unless I use my money to generate more money. But in order to do that, I need experts like you. Unfortunately, I've made some serious mistakes and learned some hard lessons in the 2 years since I became involved in drug reform. I want to share those lessons with you today. Lesson 1. In the spring of 1999, I decided to give a big chunk of money to start an initiative to tax and regulate marijuana in Washington State. Some of you may remember the headline, Microsoft millionaire backs move to legalize pot. This was intended as a short-term deal. I was just going to take a few months to legalize marijuana and then go back to my business. Unfortunately, the activists I found to make this plan a reality turned out to be a crook. I'm still working on a lawsuit to recover the money. So lesson 1 is, there's a lot of crazies and a few dishonest people in the drug reform movement. Actually, I've only met one activist who tried to take advantage of drug reformers for his own personal gain. Unfortunately, he was the first one I met. I've met a lot more people who are completely honest and have the best intentions, but who ended up doing more harm than good. Keep in mind that when I say there are crazies in this movement, I'm not excluding myself. I've made some dumb mistakes, but then I imagine most of us have. I suspect there's some people with worthy drug reform projects who say things like this: that Bruce McKinney has some money, maybe we could get him to donate. But then somebody else says, the problem with his money is that you have to listen to his crazy ideas to get any of it. Well, it's true, and not only for me, but for everybody in the movement. We all have to listen to each other's crazy ideas. I'm not ever again going to give money to anybody without asking a lot of tough questions. On the other hand, the organizers I need to help me aren't going to put their energy into losing projects just because I offer them money. So get over it. Drug reform is difficult. Everybody has a different strategy. Some of our ideas are more realistic than others. We need each other even when we disagree. We have to take risks, even though sometimes we lose. We have to say no sometimes, even when it offends our allies. I've had my share of disagreements with people in the movement, including some on this platform. And we'll probably disagree again today. Forgotten I used to be using this PowerPoint. But anyway, that's lesson 1. Lesson 2. After Initiative 229 crashed, I joined with other activists to form a new organization and drop another initiative. We were still determined to tax and regulate marijuana. So the 4 of us spent an evening a week for several months drafting an initiative that we thought could pass and that could actually be implemented. As a final sanity check before putting it on the ballot, we did some polling. First we did a cheap and dirty poll, and when we didn't like the results, we did a more thorough poll testing attitudes about various drug reform strategies. We got 33%. That's the percentage of registered voters in Washington State who said they would support our tax and regulate initiative. So lesson two, oh no. Okay, there we are. Lesson 2 is results. We asked if the current drug enforcement policy is working. 66% said no. We asked if people who got caught using marijuana should go to jail. 62% said no. We asked if marijuana is more harmful than alcohol. 52% said marijuana is more harmful. It's kind of like if you ask if the earth is flat and 52%